The New Zealander, widely regarded as the best motorcycle speedway rider ever, is being remembered as a fiercely determined character and a consummate professional, including by people texting in. Some lovely texts arriving. Ivan Mauger died this morning, aged 78, ending a battle of several years with a form of dementia. Clay Wilson with more about the man known to many as simply Mr. Speedway.
Half a lap to go, and Mauger looks safe. It's going to be the 5th world title win for Ivan Mauger. Mauger takes it and he raises his hand as Mauger takes his 5th world final win, and he equals the all-time record by Ove Funen of Sweden of 5 world championship wins then, with that win in Heat 18. The new world champion, Ivan Mauger, tonight.
6 individual world championship titles, 3 world long track crowns, and 1,000 event wins across 26 countries during a career spanning 3 decades. There is no denying Ivan Mauger was a speedway legend. A legend driven from an early age in his hometown of Christchurch to be the best.
I had my first meeting at Aranui in Christchurch. When I was 15, I just told a few fibs about my date of birth. We put on a year just to, because you couldn't get a licence until you were 16. My first bike was about 65 pounds. And that was a lot of money because I was only getting like £1 a week after working after school.
Such was his determination to succeed. Before his school years were done, a 17-year-old Mauger left for Britain to chase his dream. His first attempts to break through in the sport failed, and he returned home to race throughout Australasia. But when he went back to the UK in 1963, his fortunes changed, and he became a dominant figure in British Speedway and on the international stage. He won his first individual world championship in 1968 and his last in 1979. The same year he captained and coached New Zealand to a world team title, riding injured to secure crucial points. Thanks to a bet made in 1970, the bike he won his 3rd world championship title on became a golden testament to his achievement.
After I won the world championship 2 years in a row, some American businessmen promised that if I won it 3 years in a row, which had never been done before, they would gold plate the bike. And it took about 18 months to completely gold plate.
While Mauger spent most of his career racing in Britain, from 1965 until he retired in 1986 to Australia's Gold Coast, he returned to New Zealand every year to promote Speedway. Speedway New Zealand Chief Executive John McCallum says Mauger never forgot his roots.
If you're going to be successful in that sport, Europe's where you've got to be based, and he was for a long period before retiring to Australia. But he was always a very proud Kiwi and kept a local interest. He still followed the All Blacks and the Crusaders, and he was a proud Canterbury man.
The key to Mauger's success, though, was an intense drive to win and meticulous nature.
People would argue that Ivan perhaps wasn't the most gifted rider that ever sat on a bike, but he was more determined and his preparation was better, and he just worked extra harder. He was just such a competitor.
Mauger's many achievements brought much recognition, including an MBE in 1976 and an OBE in 1989. In 1990, he was one of the 75 inaugural members inducted into the New Zealand Sports Hall of Fame. But in an interview with RNZ in 2013, he admitted interest in the sport had dropped off.
They're not as big now because there's no magic names that can draw people to the stadiums. I was a magic name and several other guys were a magic name, and when they were announced that such and such a person is going to be riding next week, everyone in the town wanted to go, but there's not those magic names now.
Mauger withdrew from public life in 2013 as his health began to deteriorate. 2 years later, it was revealed he was being treated for a communication disorder and was receiving daily treatment at a Gold Coast nursing home. He is survived by his wife Ray and their 3 children. Moti hotaka o te ahi ponei, ko Clay Wilson aho.